Hey guys, it's JJ. Welcome back to the Nebraska Dynasty, where we are not playing in the playoffs. We missed out. We're ranked 14 in the country, and yeah, just one loss too many. Last episode, I got all the facts mixed up, but we lost a couple games too many. Just one actually, and so today we're gonna go through an off season instead of playing in the playoff. And we're going to keep both our coordinators around, Dana Holgerson and John Butler. I do like the offense and how it's constructed. We have a pretty balanced running and passing game. A lot of inside zone, which I like, and kind of a college offense, if I'm being honest. The defense, it's a 3-3-5, and it played great last year. So no reason to change anything around. Now let's go over the schedule. We started off with a 3-score win over Vandy, 3-score win over Wisconsin in a rivalry game. That was our first in-conference game actually. And then Missouri State on the schedule. That was a blowout. Akron, not really a contest there either. And then we're really dove into the conference. Kansas State was a tough win. Minnesota was actually a shutout in the rivalry game, so that's very important. And then Northwestern, that was a brutal loss. We should not have lost that game. Northwestern was not even close to being a top team in the conference. And if we had just won that one more game, then we would have been in the playoff. Missouri was a tough win. Arkansas State was not as tough as a 3-score victory. UAB, that was another out-of-conference matchup that we did pretty well in. And then we lost to Arkansas, who ultimately, with that win, decided their fate in going to the championship game. Win over Kansas at the end didn't really matter that much anymore. And then a bowl game win over Buffalo. All these conferences have been mixed up by me. I redid all of them at the start of the franchise, or Dynasty, I guess. The American consists now of all the teams in Tennessee, Kentucky, West Virginia, and Indiana. And in this universe, Indiana wins this one over Memphis. In the ACC, which is all the teams from South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, and Maryland, Clemson beats out Duke for the ACC. The Big 12 consists of all the Texas and Oklahoma teams. Oklahoma wins that conference by 2 scores. Big 10, it's all the Michigan and Ohio teams, plus Notre Dame. And Michigan lost 38-5. They somehow scored a safety in the field goal as their only scores. It's ridiculous. Buffalo and Penn State. Buffalo wins that one, loses that one. Conference USA is, by the way, all the New England, like everything in the Northeast, down to Pennsylvania teams. The MAC is all the actual MAC teams, everything in the middle, which we are a part of. And Arkansas wins it all, actually. Mountain West, it's all the mountainous teams, actually. And BYU wins that conference. Pac-12 is all the West Coast teams, and Oregon blows out UCLA in that game. Florida and SEC, they lose to Georgia. The SEC is just all the Georgia and Florida teams, and Georgia wins that one. Didn't catch the last one there. But overall, this is the playoff picture. Bama in the Sun Belt. That was actually the last conference that I missed out on. But yeah, they go one and done against Texas. Texas not even part of a conference championship game. Iowa State, the loser of our MAC conference, they lose to Florida. Arkansas one and done as well. Our winner, the MAC winner, loses to Clemson, the ACC winner. And then Texas Tech, they win it over SMU in a Texas showdown here in the first round. We're moving on to the quarterfinal. Texas Tech moves on against Indiana, who won their conference. So they're going to move on. And then we've got Clemson beating the first round by Texas A&M Aggies, who also did not show up in the conference championship game. Lots of Texas teams here, actually. And then Georgia, 59-31. They win again over Florida twice in a row, basically. And move on to the semifinal. And then Oklahoma and Texas, a Red River rivalry game here in the quarterfinal. And Oklahoma, as the conference championship winner, they move on as well. Texas out here in the quarterfinal. Oklahoma and Georgia, we got two conference winners here. 31-27 for Oklahoma. For Georgia, obviously. Oklahoma out with that loss there. Georgia, obviously. Always a great team. And then Texas Tech wins it over Clemson. Unbelievable stuff for Texas Tech. Not even in the conference championship game and still moving on left and right. Yet again against Clemson, the ACC winner. And then Georgia takes it all the way. They go win the national championship game here in Miami at the Hard Rock Stadium. Georgia, not a good start into the game, but then 2 scores every quarter. Stockton, unbelievable game. 6 touchdowns, no picks. 65% completion percentage. Pretty good stuff there. On the other side, Morton, he didn't make many mistakes either. Not quite as good a completion percentage, but still 3 touchdowns, no picks. The ground game didn't really get off the ground on both sides of the ball. Like, they didn't really get to run much, but Georgia, man, 2 100-yard receivers, and they got a receiver, Dylan Bell, here with 3 touchdowns. Unbelievable receiving trio they have there. Texas Tech, great performance by Caleb Douglas. Didn't really matter too much in the end. Carter with 9 catches, but Georgia just dominating the game. 2-score win, and just Georgia things, I guess. So I think they are kind of the ultimate opponent here in this dynasty, or in any dynasty. They're always great. Let's move on to our season stats. Nebraska. We had Dylan Raiola throw for 73% completion percentage, 3,347 yards, 25 touchdowns, and only 1 interception. And I think the only 1 interception I threw all season was in that bowl game against Buffalo, I think. Not entirely sure, but we had a great season with Raiola. Now, this is the thing. I think the offense could be much more productive, but the defense was so dominant, we didn't really have to be that much more productive. We should have been in a couple games that we lost, unfortunately. One of them against Arkansas, and that was the one that broke us. Emmett Johnson on the ground, 197 carries, 895 yards, 16 touchdowns in 13 games. Great season for Johnson. Ives, 78 carries, 403 yards, 4 touchdowns. And then Raiola even with a couple of touchdowns and a couple hundred yards there. And then for the receivers, obviously, Ja'Cory Barney, breakout of the year. 1,207 yards, 10 touchdowns. Great year for him. I targeted him so much, and he broke a couple of records. We'll get to that later. Dane Key, the senior receiver, 60 catches, 699 yards, 3 touchdowns. Didn't target him as much. I think it's just the way that the offense is set up. It's just not made for ex-receivers to have a huge volume. Naziah Hunter, 46 catches, 628 yards, 6 touchdowns. Great season for him as well, as a de facto number 3 receiver, actually. And then we had Emmett Johnson, the running back, for almost 400 yards. So combined, he had about 1,200 yards from scrimmage and like 21 touchdowns, man. Johnson, what a season. Mac Markway, the tight end, 27 catches, 243 yards. Nice season for him, but no touchdowns. And then just a couple of running backs, backup receivers there down the list. Just nothing too exciting. And then Harburg, the backup tight end, he got a catch and a touchdown. I think it was also in that Buffalo game. And then for sacks, can you believe it? I think, I didn't actually check the numbers, but I'm pretty sure Dylan Raiola didn't get sacked once this year. How is that even possible? I didn't even realize as we walked through the season, but the way the offense is set up, there's just so many quick throws in there, which is also why the ex-receiver doesn't get targeted much. Watson Trent leads the team in tackles. Then we also got Roger Gradney. We get Malcolm Hartzog. Deshaun McCullough, 70 tackles for him. For TFLs, man, Marquez Watson Trent, what on earth is up with you? Senior linebacker, 26 TFLs. If you take out the sacks, it's still 20 TFLs, which is more than 1 a game. And then Deshaun McCullough also has 20 TFLs. Elijah Judy with 18, and then Javen Wright, our third linebacker, at 15 TFLs, man. Our linebackers were flying all over the field. And we got Riley Van Poppel with 13 as well. 12 sacks for Elijah Judy. He was a senior defensive tackle, and he played very well this year. We had 6 sacks by Riley Van Poppel. And then Marquez Watson-Trent, 5.5 sacks for a will linebacker. That's kind of unheard of, I think. Dylan Parrott, 5.5 sacks as well. Nice stuff. And then Javen Wright, another senior linebacker, 5 sacks for him. McCullough, another linebacker with 4 sacks. Our linebackers combined had like 15 sacks this year. And then Hartsock, the slot corner, had 3 sacks, and Waneri had only 2.5. Our leading edge rushers had 2.5 and 2 sacks. Our top 3 edge rushers. We need to work on that, but I think it's also the way the defense is set up with the formations. They just don't get as many snaps. I don't think they played even half the snaps on defense. So no wonder they didn't get as much sack production. And then only 3 picks this year. One of them to Sierra Wright, our senior corner that is going to leave at the end of the year. This offseason now. Elijah Judy, 1 forced fumble. Dylan Parrott and Deshaun Singleton, our starting strong safety that did get injured halfway through the year. Missed the last handful of games. Let's go through team stats, where we will find quite a bit of surprising stats. Best offense in the country, Arizona State. Apparently produced 43 points a game. Unbelievable stuff there. Georgia did it in the SEC, 42.5. Let's go down the list. And even further, and even further. We are not even close to the top of the list. We're actually an average offense in the country, 29.6 points per game. It's a little bit above average. That's not much, let's be honest. And if you are ever going to play one of the good teams, I think we're going to be screwed. So, 30 points a game. Okay, apparently not great. But we did have a good defense. And I already teasered on that, but we're going to take a look at that in a second. I think the offense could be even better. And we could be even more aggressive. We're just not because the defense is so good. Yards per game, total yardage per game, 367.8. That's actually below average in the country. Gotta work on that. That's not great. 367.8. What am I even talking about? 367.8 per game. Gotta get a lot better. If we took a look at the top of the list, there are teams with almost 500 yards per game. We need to be much better than that. 6.4 yards per play. That is top of the country. Like not top 10 quite, I think, but maybe top 20. So I think that is actually a good thing. It also means while we are not producing that much yardage, it means that we're productive on our plays that we have. We create some big plays. And I think a big factor here is obviously Ja'Cory Barney. Passing yards per game, average 257.5. Need to get this up a lot, obviously. We're going to pass the ball a lot more, especially with a quarterback of our caliber, Dylan Raiola, man. One of the best quarterbacks in the country. We're going to want to get closer to that 300 yards per game passing yards mark when we get into the next season. We'll see how achievable that is. I do think we could do with an upgrade on both sides of the ball, but especially on the offense, there's still some work to be done and we don't lose many players there. Rushing yards per game, we are much further down the list than I would have expected. 110 yards, that's actually below average. I actually have no explanation for that number because we actually ran the ball pretty well. All of our running backs were north of 4 yards a carry. Quentin Ives even 5 yards a carry. And it was not like Emmett Johnson was inefficient. He was 4.5 a carry or something. And we also didn't have that tight of a competition. We were leading most games. We should have ran the ball a lot more than we actually did. First downs per game. Yeah, this is usually a stat that I lead with my teams in college football. Apparently not this year. 19.9 first downs a game. Maybe it's the big plays again, because we did have a good yards per play, which usually indicates more big plays. but there's no specific stat about big plays. So, still something we can improve on to move the ball more consistently, get better third down situations. We're going to take a look at the third down percentages and stuff a couple seconds, but would you look at that? We had by far the best defense in the country. Like, it's not even close. We averaged less than 2 touchdowns a game allowed on defense. Yeah, there's really not many reasons to be aggressive if your defense is this good. Yards per game allowed. The best teams in the country that are not Nebraska are around 300 yards allowed per game. We're at 239.8. This defense was incredible, and I actually have no explanation why, because we did not have any superstars on defense. Defensive passing yards allowed per game, we're third in the country, 193.4. Now, obviously, this is an inflated number because of the number of games we were leading. So teams had to throw it in the second half just by sheer volume they produced on us. On the other hand, the rushing yards per game allowed is even lower now. Now, what would be interesting to me is opposing rushing yards per attempt and opposing passing yards per attempt. That would be really interesting numbers to me, because I think that attempt number for passing yards would be pretty low. Sacks per game, second best in the country, 3.8. I think this is pretty good stuff. We can build on that, especially considering we didn't even use our edge rushers this much, and none of our edge rushers are seniors that are graduating, so we're going to be even better next year. And then interceptions collected, only 3 and the entire season, which is in the bottom top 10, or bottom 10 in the country. Only 3 interceptions. We need to do better than that. There need to be more turnovers, but that makes this stuff actually even more impressive. We only collected 4 turnovers all season, and we still were the best defense in the country. Imagine if we had actually, if we would regress back to the mean, if we get 10 turnovers next year, and our defense looks even better next year, we're gonna be even more dominant. Third down attempts, yeah, we're only at 47%, which that's obviously not great. Now, one stat that I would be most interested in is average distance per third down, because I think that number is a little bit too high for us. We need to be better. We need to get ourselves in better situations on third down. Fourth down percentage, 70%. I think that's a number that I can live with very well. Usually fourth down percentage, like 4th and 1, 4th and 2 is kind of a 50-50 shot to make it. 4th and 1, not quite, but 4th and 2, 4th and 3, I think that's like the 50% range. And I usually don't go for it if it's more than 4th and 3, 4th and 4, maybe-ish. I don't know, but 70%, I definitely can live with that number. But the third downs, we need to be in better situations there. Touchdowns per red zone drive. This is an abysmal number. We were in the opposing red zone 65 times, and we only got 37 touchdowns. That means 32 times in the red zone, we didn't score a touchdown. Even if you add in the 10 field goals, 47 to 65, that's still... I can't do math apparently. Oh, it's not 32, it's 28. But even if you take the 10 field goals into consideration, you're still at 18 red zone attempts where we didn't get a single point out of it at all. 18 times. That's more than once a game where we just gave up in the red zone. Now, on the defensive side, I mean, I don't have to tell you, this looks incredible. 30 attempted red zone drives by opposing offenses, and they only got 11 touchdowns out of it. And even if you take the field goals into account, you're still at not even barely 60%, 63% maybe. That's a great number to be at. So because there was once a game, also almost once a game, we avoided the opposing offense to score any points at all, even though they were in the red zone. Turnovers, we only collected 4. We gave the ball up 3 times, so that's a +1 differential. I think that's pretty good. We need to get more interceptions as a defense. We had 4 forced fumbles this year, but we only recovered 1 of them. So only 1 turnover out of 4 forced fumbles. It's kind of unlucky, but if this number was regressing a little bit back to the mean, I think that we could be much better in that category. We're the worst turnover defense in the country, tied for first with Kent State, Ball State, UTSA, and BYU. And I mean, that doesn't apparently mean much because we are one of the best teams in the country. Well, not actually. We're ranked number 14 at the end. But BYU won their conference. They made it to the conference championship game. They win it, and they only had 4 turnovers collected as well. So I don't know. College football records, we only broke 2 this year, and they were both season records at Nebraska, and it's both the same thing. Ja'Cory Barney having an awesome season. 106 receptions, 1,207 yards. Great year for Barney. Let's move on to the awards. And yeah, the Heisman goes out to Cade Klubnik for Clemson. And I mean, he had a great year. Zachariah Branch, the receiver for Georgia. Fernando Mendoza, that makes sense. John Mateer. And then Jeremiah Smith for Ohio State, the receiver. Best player of the year, Maxwell Award, goes to Cade Klubnik. No surprise there. He's a senior. He is gone after this year. And yeah, just a few interesting players on the list. Nobody that we really recognize from our conference. Except down the list at 12, Carson Hansen, the running back for Iowa State, man. He had a great year. But overall, the MAC did not really have a massive impact on any of this. Walter Camp Award, I mean, why do you have 2 of the Player of the Year awards and then you have a Heisman separately? Like, okay, whatever. Coach of the Year goes to Clemson, Dabo Swinney. Kirby Smart in second. Quarterback of the Year, I mean, if you're Heisman, you're also Quarterback of the Year, obviously. Cade Klubnik. Yeah, Raiola had a great year, but only 25 touchdowns. That's not even close to what the top quarterbacks in the country usually get. Best defensive player actually goes to a Mike linebacker, Anthony Hill Jr. We had Marquez Watson Trent in 4th place. He's a senior, so he's done. That's it. He had a great year. But we're not going to see him again because he's graduating and probably not even get drafted. Bronco Nagurski Trophy, best defensive player of the year. What are you talking about? Why do we have 2 of these now? Defensive Back of the Year award, Dalen Everett for Georgia. Since we didn't collect any interceptions, there is absolutely no reason for any of our DBs to be on this list at all. I think Marcus Buford had a decent season, 2 picks. He's the only one with multiple interceptions. Running back of the year, Carson Hansen in 2nd for Iowa State. We played him. And then Ahmed Johnson in 6th place. He had injuries towards the end of the year, so we didn't even play much at all in the bowl game. But that didn't really matter for this award, I guess. But yeah, we could get him some more production for sure. Wide receiver of the year, I mean, Smith, come on. Defensive lineman of the year, Ruben Bain. Makes sense to me. None of our guys were making this list. Senior QB, our quarterback is not senior, so obviously he's not on this list. Defensive end, Ruben Bain, that makes sense. Future top 5 draft pick. Interior lineman of the year goes to Florida. A kid from Missouri in the 2nd, we faced them. Tight end of the year, Oscar Delp for Georgia. Assistant coach of the year, I mean, we're not that great. We didn't have that great a season. And then linebacker of the year, Marquez Watson Trent in 2nd, behind Anthony Hill Jr. That makes me a little bit sad, but Watson Trent had a great year, man. Great 3-down starting linebacker. Should be a draft pick, in my opinion, but I don't think he's gonna get it as a 7th round pick. Punter and kicker of the year doesn't really matter to us. And then returner, I mean, we didn't have anybody that was really fast and doing a bunch of returning, but Zachariah Branch for Georgia, man. And then freshman of the year goes to a Washington State quarterback. That's really interesting. James McCauley. Maybe we'll see him at some point. All-Americans, no surprise here. Kate Clubbing at quarterback. We got Carson Hansen for Iowa State as a running back. The usual suspects at receiver. Nobody from the MAC really on this list. Do we recognize anybody that we played this year? Yes, we do. We got a linebacker, obviously. Marquez Watson Trent makes it on this list. He's lucky he's a Will and not a Mike, because Anthony Hill would have taken that one away from him. But we got a linebacker on this list. That's nice to see. He got a bunch of tackles for a loss. Sadly, no picks. But 5.5 sacks. I mean, for a linebacker, that's pretty good. And yeah, for the rest of this first team All-Americans, we don't recognize anybody there. Second team All-Americans, Fernando Mendoza. And then nobody else that I recognize immediately, I guess. Zachariah Branch, we talked about him a bunch. And then we got Trey Zune, the left tackle for Texas A&M, second team All-American. And Elijah Pritchett, our right tackle, and he's not even a senior, man. He's a junior, so we'll have him back next year, and that's pretty exciting to me. Already seeing as we can lock down the tackle spot. By the way, our left tackle, Gotchila, is also not a senior, so we're gonna get back both our tackles. This is exciting to see. And then for the rest of this entire team, the entire defense, we played nobody this year. Obviously, we recognize names generally speaking, but not in this dynasty. I do recognize Curly Reed for Louisiana. I do have a Louisiana dynasty. And then for the freshman All-American, there we got him again, James McCauley for Washington State, the quarterback. That's interesting. Braylon Staley, recognize him from Mr. Hurricane's Buffalo dynasty. Just throw it down the field. And, well, don't recognize anybody else here, I gotta say. A couple more Texas A&M kids. Obviously, Bama, Oregon, Georgia, all over this field, all over the place. Northwestern, Damon Walters, the safety. I mean, we did play him this year. I do not recognize the name, let's be honest. And then a punter for Buffalo. That does make sense. They did punt a lot against us. So, but that bowl game didn't have any implications on this All-Americans list. So, who cares? First team All-Americans in the MAC. And we got Taylon Green, the quarterback for Arkansas. First team All-American here in the MAC. Obviously, Carson Hansen. He's the running back one here on the first team. But there we go. Emmett Johnson. Second, or number 2 running back on the All-American team here. And then we got Cam Shanks. We played him this year. We also got Ja'Cory Barney. Sophomore receiver, can't declare, but he could transfer away. Omega Blake, we recognize him obviously. Brett Norfleet, I recognize that name. A few linemen, but we also got Elijah Pritchett again. That's nice to see. And then Rocco Spindler, the right guard as well. He's a senior, sadly, so he's gonna declare, or at least graduate. For the defense, not many players, but we got Elijah Judy as defensive tackle 2 here. And obviously Marquez Watson Trent is the will linebacker on this team. Nobody else. I do recognize Nazir Forkreen and Amarian Fortenberry, the 2 corners. And then Larry Worth, Jalen Catalan. I do recognize these names, definitely. And then also Jalen Daniels for Kansas. We played him in, I think it was the final game of the year. He played pretty well, man. That kid is fast. Cam Porter, running back for Northwestern. Recognize him, obviously. We got Emmanuel Henderson Jr. for Kansas. Didn't play the Kansas State team, but I don't really recognize all these names for the rest of the offense. But for the defense, I do recognize Lucas Finnessy and DJ Withers. I suppose we also played Damian Ilalio, but don't recognize him. Deshaun McCullough, senior linebacker. His career is done at the college, so not gonna see him again. And Clune Van Andel for Arkansas State. Gotta recognize him. Clune Van Andel, what a name. And then freshman quarterbacks. Dylan Raiola was a sophomore, so he didn't make any of these lists, sadly. Didn't have enough touchdowns or enough yardage, sadly. We got to get these numbers up next year, I got to tell you. And yeah, Josh Joyner for Missouri State. Do recognize him. A couple Northwestern receivers. That was, that was not great facing them. No offensive linemen, but we did have Williams Nwaneri with 2.5 sacks making this list. That is kind of unbelievable. But on the other hand, I looked it up. I think he only played like 300 snaps, and this kid's a freshman. So we'll see what he can do as a sophomore. He could declare next year if he has a good offseason. And then I don't really recognize many of the other names, but I do. Roger Gradney. It's kind of unbelievable that Buford didn't make any of these lists. Or free safety. But who cares? This is players leaving. And yeah. Dane Key, #1 receiver. Sia Wright, #1 corner. Both projected in the draft. Then we got Marquez, Watson, Trent. Man, those three, to lose those three, that's a massive loss. All three of them. Dane Key's a great receiver. He just didn't get that many targets because of the way the playbook is set up. But overall, he was a great receiver, and I would have loved to have him for another year. Rocco Spindler, Deshaun Singleton, got a couple guards that are leaving us now. McCullough and Javen Wright are two other linebackers. We're going to lose Elijah Judy, our most productive pass rusher. Backup tight end, slot corner, a tackle that didn't really play, a kicker that was to transfer away, and then a linebacker that also wants to transfer away. A quarterback as a senior, a couple of more tight ends down the list. So obviously we're gonna try. We have 8 persuasion chances. We only have 2 players that want to leave. We're gonna try both of them, obviously. Cunanan. I don't know what to say about him. We're just gonna try to keep him around, and if they don't want to stay, I mean, fine, okay. I don't care. He is actually not staying. We had a high chance, and he's not persuaded. So Cunanan is gone. We're losing a kicker here, but let me assure you, we have 3 on the roster, now 2. So I think we're still good. Dylan Rogers, 74 overall linebacker. And we're losing 3 linebackers this year. So losing him would kind of hurt because he's next in line at Mike. So it would really hurt if we lose him. And he has decided to stay. The persuasion chance was high. That's good to see. So at least we keep a linebacker around after we already lose 3 this year. Now, we're going to go through all the impact players that we're going to lose due to graduation. Dane Key was a former 3-star, 6'3", 210 pounds out of Lexington, Kentucky. He had average speed for a college receiver. So not a great athlete, but the catching ratings are on the 90s. The route runnings are great. He had the platinum cutter ability, golden double dip, silver layout, silver sure hands. Bunch of good abilities. He leaves Nebraska with 60 catches, 699 yards, 3 touchdowns this year. That's not that long, obviously. Don't need to argue on that point. We could have targeted him more, but we had Ja'Cory Barney, the dynamic athlete, over the middle. And yeah, that's obviously sad to see. I don't think we have a real good replacement for him. I don't think there's a receiver on the team that can replace his skill set that well. Heinrich Harburg, backup tight end. I mean, like, I didn't even need to put him in here. He's an 80 overall. I mean, we're gonna miss him. He is not a great receiver. His hands are fine, but he was a solid backup, and he did have pretty good speed and acceleration. So in a world where we don't have Mac Markway, he would have been a pretty good #1 tight end. But yeah, he only had 1 catch for 15 yards, and it was a touchdown. And I think it was actually the bowl game. So that's nice to see that he actually did get a touchdown in his senior season. Henry Lutovsky, Our left guard, 6'6", 320, at Crawfordsville, Iowa. Former 3-star, raw strength, archetype, left guard, with 3 bronze abilities. Was a solid run blocker, a better pass protector, good athlete overall. It hurts to lose him. 82 overall. That's not going to be easy to replace. I can already tell you with the way the roster is set up here. The backup guards are nowhere near. He had 1 season, 13 games played, 0 sacks, bunch of snaps. Yeah, he played the entire season. I don't think he was hurt once. So, losing Lutovsky, that obviously hurts. This one hurts even more, I think. Rocco Spindler, 6'5", 325 out of Clarkston, Michigan, former 4-star, raw strength. He only had 1 bronze ability, but I think he was even better. His run blocking was, I think, more solid. The pass protection, kind of the same. Good athlete, equally. It kind of hurts that he had so much room to grow still under his ceiling, and I would have loved to have him 1 more season, but he's a redshirt senior. He's also gone. He played the entire year with no sacks allowed. This is a great offensive line. Obviously, it's helped out by this kind of college offense with a bunch of screens and quick passing. But still, like, this is great production. Elijah Judy, 6'3", 285, former 4-star out of Philadelphia. Judy is a power rusher, and it showed on the field. He was our most productive pass rusher, and he's not a great athlete at all. He's a decent run stopper. 83 power moves, 76 finesse moves. At his size, that's pretty decent, and he's a pretty good athlete if we just look at his quickness. He's not particularly strong, though. He finished his senior season with 37 tackles, 18 TFLs, 12 sacks, no picks, and 1 forced fumbles, no recoveries. He also had 3 deflections, which for a defensive lineman is pretty interesting. That's a pretty good number of bat downs, I guess. He was a lighter defensive tackle, which explains why his strength was not that great, but his movement skills were better. But we will miss him. Deshaun McCullough, 6'5", 240 something, I think. A big dude, great athlete, good zone coverage. The run stopping was decent, good awareness in play rec, good hit power, good blitzer, actually. McCullough was a pretty solid linebacker, and he did have 70 tackles this year. He was a linebacker too, along with 20 TFLs, 4 sacks, no picks and no forced fumbles and no recoveries. Also 3 deflections. So I think for a linebacker, this is a pretty good year. 70 tackles. That's a halfway decent season for an LB2. LB3, Javen Wright, 6'5", 230 out of Chandler, Arizona. He's a former 3-star. It hurts to lose him, in my opinion, because he had elite awareness and play rec. And I think 1 more year, he could have really broken out. The athleticism is incredible. He's got solid power. The run stopping's decent. The coverage needs some work, and that's why he didn't play that many downs. But I think if this kid had 1 more year, man, he would have been incredible this year. 48 tackles, 15 TFLs, 5 sacks, no picks, no forced fumbles, no recoveries, and also 3 deflections. Javen Wright, I think he needed to have 1 more year. And then our best linebacker, Marquez Watson Trent. 5'11", 225. It's the Devin Bush package. And he is out of Pittsburgh, which is where Devin Bush was drafted into. So that's kind of fun. And he was a former 2-star with great athleticism. The pass coverage, 78 zone, 70 man. That's pretty good. The run stopping's elite. There is no doubt about it. Great power. The pass rushing needed some work, but this kid was incredible this year. 108 tackles, 26 TFLs. He literally had 2 TFLs a game. 5.5 sacks. That's pass rusher numbers. And he was playing coverage linebacker, blitzing sometimes here and there. And he's not even a great blitzer. This was an incredible year for Marquez Watson Trent, and I'm gonna miss him. Sierra Wright, our top corner. He's gone. 88 men and 85 press. 84 zone. I'm gonna miss him so much. 92 speed, 92 acceleration. Hands needed some work, definitely, but golden blanket coverage, silver jammer, and bronze ball hawk. This is pretty good abilities that we're gonna be missing here. And in 13 games played, he had 53 tackles as an outside corner, mind you. That's almost linebacker numbers. A TFL, an interception, 9 deflections, no forced fumbles though. So he had the only cornerback interception this year. That's kind of sad, but he was also locked down. They did not target him much. Slot corner, Malcolm Hardzog, 5'9", 180 out of Silver Creek, Mississippi. Platinum robber, platinum blanket coverage. This kid was looking pretty sharp. The man in press needed a lot of work. 79 zone. It's great. It's not great, but it's decent. He's a good athlete, but what made him really tough is he has 57 tackling, but I feel like he made all the tackles, man. He has 71 tackles. I think that's like second on the team for a slot corner. 10 TFLs, 3 sacks. This kid was really dangerous in the box, I feel like. He outplayed that 57 tackling rating, man. He looked a lot better. Marquez Buford Jr., the top safety we had on the team. 5'11", 190 out of Chicago. Former 3-star coverage specialist safety with platinum robber and bronze knockout and ball hawk abilities. Great zone and man coverage across the board. Great safety. He had decent athleticism. The run defense was pretty solid. We're gonna miss him. Only player on the team that had 2 turnovers. 13 games played, 51 tackles, just like our outside corner. 2 TFLs, no sacks, but 2 interceptions and 1 forced fumble. And he's not even the heavy hitting 6'2", 220-pound safety. He is a lighter one, much lighter, and he still had 3 turnovers. So this is nice to see. And then we got Deshaun Singleton, our strong safety, also leaving us. He was injured for like half the season. His IQ is elite. 80 zone coverage is good. Lacked a little bit on the athleticism, but the run support's good. Good power, decent catching rating, I guess. Only 1 ability though. And he's got 58 tackling, 9 TFL, 58 tackles, 9 TFLs. And he racked all of that up in actually 10 games. He did play 10 games. I had like 7 games in my mind. It was 7 games. But 58 tackles in 10 games. I think that's a pretty decent number for a safety. And this is our draft results. 2 players drafted. Dane Key, round 5. Sia Wright, round 6. And that's it. No Marquez Watson Trent drafting happening here. Yeah, that makes me really sad. Can't do anything about it though. So, that's it. The class of senior is gone. And by the way, we got upgraded here. 4-star program now, 4.5 stars. And did you even notice? I didn't. I did not realize when I looked at the or like when I did the commentator thingy, but when I was actually recording all of this, I was so afraid that Ja'Cory Barney was gonna leave, and he didn't. And that is great. We're gonna keep Ja'Cory Barney around for another year. I'm so relieved at that fact. Christian Gray is our top target this year in the transfer portal. 4-star safety, 4-star corner. That 95 acceleration already has me so excited. 83 man, 84 press, 81 catching. I don't even care what the other ratings are. Unless he's got 81 speed, I want to have this kid on my team. Now, in this kind of series, I always have this rule: you don't scout the player fully unless it's your home state, the team's home state, or the kid is from a 4 or 5-star pipeline, which at Nebraska, by the way, we don't have any. So we can only full scout players from Nebraska. Tayon Holloway out of Virginia Beach. Want this kid on the team as well. Doesn't look quite as good as Christian Gray, but Holloway also looks pretty solid, man. Also 4-star corner, 92 speed, 76 press. We just had to replace Sia Wright. We have to replace him. We just lost him. Trey Zune, remember him? Left tackle, second team All-Americans for Texas A&M on the national level. I want him on my team, man. He's a pass protector out of Fort Collins, Colorado, so we get a pipeline bonus on him. Can't scout him though. 6'7", 320. He's a junior. All three of these would be good gets, but out of all of three of these, I want Christian Gray the most. Now, the Holloway thingy is, he's a sophomore, so we would get him for 2 years if we get him. And stage 1 is completed. We got one player. It's DeAndre Battle. He's a high school player out of Mississippi. Battle, I don't know. We just need to get bodies on this team. I want to just put as many players on the team as I can. And yeah, they locked us out right away. Didn't have a shot at all. And look how much ground some of these teams are making. We had no shot of ever getting this team, man. LSU specifically, or also Alabama, Notre Dame, Virginia Tech. They were all outgaining us by so much. We had no shot getting this kid. We sim ahead, and we get Nate Good, also a high school player. He's a running back out of Virginia. And not sure if he's any good. Pun intended. Trey Zune, we get the 4-star tackle. And you know, I already said that we keep both our starting tackles around. This is even better on top. Now, the thing is, we only were able to go after 3 4-stars all together in the entire portal because of the recruiting rules I have. We can only recruit players that are either, we can recruit anybody from Nebraska. We can recruit anybody that's at least our team prestige, or anybody that's got us in their top 10. So this Trey Zune getting is massive. Now, we're going to skip ahead to the last stage, and we're getting a bunch of players here at the end. These are high school players. The quarterback, Sidney Flanagan. We got a receiver here in Juan Savage. I think I got a couple more of those on board here. But we do get the 4-star corner, Christian Gray. Welcome to the team. Out of St. Louis, Missouri. So we put 2 4-star players on our board that were interested in us, and they 3 of them, and then only like 2, we got only 2 of them. And by only I mean we got 2 of them. That's pretty good. And most of the other 4-stars were not interested in us and had us already locked out from the get-go. But the main targets, I think we got the most important one. Couple more high school players, just not that important that we go through all of these. We're gonna have a look at all these players later when we go through the roster. I show every single one of them, but we filled up the board pretty well. We got a 3-star receiver there. We got a 3-star tackle, David Byron. No, I have no idea how good many of these players are, but we want to fill up the board. And because we lost a pretty big class of seniors, and so I'm just trying to replace all of these. These 2 guards that we just had here, Alfonso Meyer and Dante Owens, I think it was. I put them on the board in the transfer portal, actually. Not from the transfer portal, they're high school players, but I put them on the board pretty late in the process. And let's see how good they are, because we just lost 2 guards, so I just want to make sure that we have enough on the team. And then we got an edge rusher here, PJ Middleton, and yeah, right here, this is where we are. We're at National Signing Day. Normal dev on both our quarterback, and one of them is a 4-star. Can you believe it? A normal 4-star running back, you're kidding. 3-star running back, normal. Impact fullback here in Ian McMahon. That's nice to see at least. We got a 4-star receiver, Dwayne Hay. And another one, Rashad Smith, elite dev. Let's go. This is what we're talking about, man. And then we got 3 more 3-star receivers. And one of them is a star, Marcus Sahara. And this is what you do. You fill up the board and you hit on a couple of them. Impact here on a couple of tight ends, and 4-star tackle, actually only impact as well. 3-star tackle, impact. And then we got Trey Zune, only impact dev though, but he's already a 4-star and he's a junior. I think he's plug and play. Like, oh, we got an elite dev guard. That's what we want to see, man. Impact on the 5-star edge rusher. That's pretty unlucky, I gotta say. Star, 3-star edge rusher, PJ Middleton. Watch out for him. 4-star defensive tackle, impact. Another one, impact. star, 4-star linebacker with star dev, and the 5-star linebacker with elite dev, Dexter Proctor. Welcome to the team. Plug and play, probably. Impact on the 4-star linebacker, impact on a 3-star. I recruited 5 corners, by the way. And we got a star here, Manny Hester, and another star, Dominique Eagles. This is why you get 5 of them, because you can just cut a couple of them next year. And then Christian Gray, star dev for the transfer corner out of St. Louis. Elite dev safety, Tyrone Eaton. Oh my. Elite dev? I think we got pretty lucky on defense here, I'd say. And then DeAndre Battle at the end, the last player. He's an impact dev. Okay, whatever. Fine. We got 35 commits, by the way, which is the max you can get. And we're number 7 in the country. So close, man. Notre Dame. Come on, man. We needed just one more player. Just one more. And we didn't get him. Number 7 in the country. Still pretty good and best in the conference, obviously. Now, we only had one athlete. And Sidney Flanagan is a dual threat. 69 overall quarterback. Yeah, I will put him there. Dual threat. I want to see how good Flanagan is, but he's normal dev, so not much hope here. We're gonna put him at quarterback, obviously. For the rest of the team, there is not much stuff to do here in position changes. Gabe Moore. I noticed that he is much too heavy to be an edge rusher, so I'm going to put him at defensive tackle because we just lost one and we only had 4 on the team to begin with. So we put him on that part of the team. And then here we are at training results. Ja'Cory Barney is our best player on the team. Let's go. I know it. He is incredible. Like, seriously, I was expecting this from the get-go. But let's start fresh. Dylan Raiola is just like a +1 overall jump. But he's a 90 overall, and I'm pretty sure he's gonna declare this year. He got better throw power, accuracies, awareness, everything. Marcus Davila, I think it's like a +3 jump for him, and then Ryan Byrne, that's like a +2 or +3 for our backup quarterbacks. Not that great for our quarterback room. Emmett Johnson, he barely got any jump at all, and Quentin Ives either. Like, there is not much happening here for the running backs. Jamarian Parker, 79 overall. Like, this was pretty disappointing, I gotta say. Now, one thing I gotta mention at this point is I did all of the upgrading randomly. So I did it manually, but I didn't decide. I let the random numbers generator decide. I don't know. Ja'Cory Barney, he's the biggest winner. I think it's like a what is it, +7, +8 or something? Massive win. But also Naziah Hunter, very hidden, but 88 overall, and they're both juniors. Technically, it's possible they could still come back after another season. I'm pretty sure Barney declares already, but I don't think Hunter will. We're so lucky with those 2 receivers because the rest of the team didn't do much at all. This was pretty disappointing for the rest of the offense overall. Now, we did have somebody that had a massive jump at tight end. It's Luke Lindenmeyer. The problem is he's just not at all a good athlete. So it's definitely still Mac Markway's position, and he only got a +1 jump. Lindenmeyer is a senior, however. We'll lose him next year. We'll see. Trey Zune, 90 overall. It's like a +2 jump, I think. Obviously, I saw the comparison. He didn't get much. Connor Gotchula, this is maybe a +4, but he's now a backup. He was a starter last year. He's actually not going to be a backup. We'll talk about that later, but Zune is definitely going to be the starter. And then at guard, this one was pretty disappointing. Not much for Jason Masiechak. Don't think that's a great start here at guard. We lost both our starters there from last year, so guard is going to be a position of weakness this year, no matter what we do. Our center stuck around, 84 overall, got a little bit better. That's nice to see. At right guard, kind of the same thing. Not much happening. We do have Tyler Knock, or whatever his name is pronounced here. 78 overall. That's going to be a downgrade, definitely at guard. At right tackle, Pritchett, I think it's a +3. That's nice to see. And then Williams and Nwaneri. It's like a +3, +4 maybe. That's a good start. He got better in everything. +7 power moves, most importantly. I hope we see him a little bit more this year. I hope he has a little bit more than just like 300 downs. Keona Davis, 83 overall, and he's a junior. And then the senior, Lenhard. I expected a bigger jump from him. 81 overall as a senior. That's not that much. So probably going to have to fight for his role. At defensive tackle, the big winner was actually Riley Van Poppel. He's a junior, and he's going to take over the DT1 abilities here. And then we got Dylan Parrott. He's the senior, and he is only a 76 overall. So that's not too exciting. Gabe Moore is like a +2 maybe. So not much happening here, honestly, at this position. And then at linebacker, this is where we lost 3 starters. I thought we had a massive downgrade this year. But would you look at that? A big jump at Sam, a big jump at Mike, and the biggest jump at Will linebacker. Can you believe it? We have a true sophomore linebacker in Christian Jones at an 84 overall. Are you kidding me? I was flabbergasted. I thought we had a massive downgrade there. I think this is not an upgrade, but still, like, I think we held 11 even though we had 3 senior linebackers graduate, and all of those 3 got replaced pretty equally, I'd say. At corner, Christian Gray made a little bit of a jump. He was already like an 88 or something. That doesn't make much of a difference. But we did have a couple of corners that actually jumped up a little bit. So I think the corners are going to be just as good as last year, maybe even a little bit better. It's safety. Massive downgrade. We lost both our starting safeties to were 85 and 84 overall, I think. And now we're having an 80 and a 76. This was to be expected, honestly. But I didn't see a 4-star safety that we could upgrade with in the transfer portal. So I decided there was not much of a point in trying for 3 stars. For the kickers, I said already from the get-go, we had 2 more, and Alvano is going to take over, and I think he's going to be even better, honestly. And then the punter is still the same from last year. Now we're going to go through encouraged transfers. This is we need to cut 16 players. The first one to go is Ryan Byrne. He is going to go. He's a freshman, I know, but he has like room to grow for like 2 more overalls, and that's it. His caps are horrible, seriously. So he needs to go because he's never going to start. We have backups that are almost as good as him and who are true freshmen and have much more space with their caps. Connor Booth, he has 82 speed as a running back, and he's not going to get much better. There is no point in keeping this kid around. So he's going to go. Ben Knowles, same thing. He's a good athlete, but he is capped. He's a 76 overall. He might get to 80, maybe, just maybe. There's so many receivers ahead of him already, and we have a couple 4-star true freshmen that are already at his level, so there's no point. At the offensive line, there's a couple players that are just not going to be ever good enough to be starting, and so we're going to cut them. Almost everybody that I'm cutting right now is being cut because of their caps. Either the caps are overall too restrictive, or they are too restricted on the athleticism. And I'm not going to start an 82 overall running back, even if he's a 90 overall. That's just not good enough, man. And this is the case for most of the players that are being cut here. Mason Goldman, next one. He's a junior, and there is a freshman ahead of him. A true freshman is better than him already. How are you ever going to be on the field? Jalen George, he's a senior. He's not going to see the field this year. There's no point in keeping him on the roster. We got a Sam linebacker here, Maverick Noonan. There is a freshman that's already 5 overall better than you. How are you going to overtake this kid next year to be a starter? You're not. You're gone. Next one. Mike linebacker, Junior Hewitt. Same thing here. You got two true freshman starters ahead of you. Dexter Proctor is definitely going to play this year. There is no doubt about it. So there is no point in keeping these kids around. Amari Hutchins. He's just too capped. His athleticism is pretty decent. I would love to see it, but he's just not going to be good enough ever. He's a 71 overall, and he's pretty much maxed out there. And at kicker, well, there is really no point in keeping John Hole around. He's a junior just like the other kicker, and I'm going to start the other one. You can bet on that. And we only have one punter, so can cut anything there. Round number 2. This time I'm going to cut the fullback. I wanted to redshirt Ian McMahon, but McMahon is already the better fullback. He's not going to get redshirted this year, so we might as well just cut leave and trip. We get a guard here. Brock Knudsen. You could make an argument he might be a pretty good backup, but he's a junior. He's going to be stuck behind Messier Jack, and he's just never going to see the field. So he needs to be gone. He's also not good. He's a 72 overall junior, man. There is freshmen, true freshmen on this team that are better than him. Also freshman linemen that are better than him at that juncture in their career. And then we got a safety here, Caleb Benning. I don't see the point. We got other players that are better than him. And obviously, of course, if you enjoyed the video, I would appreciate if you gave it a thumbs up, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. We're going to go through the roster now. Dylan Raiola, 6'3", 234 pounds, 5-star quarterback. He's a 90 overall. He's one of the best players on the team. He's a true junior, and I fully expect him to declare this year. He's going to be a team captain this year. His accuracy's got a little bit better. Not much, but a little bit. He's got 99 throw power now. We maxed it out. And he didn't get too many upgrade points. But he's got even better quickness now. And a little bit better accuracy. A little bit better arm. I'm excited about it. Next one, Anthony Shaw, true freshman. I know there's a rule in this Dynasty where we don't redshirt anybody ever. I'm redshirting players that are just never going to see the field because I just want to make sure they don't get on the field on special teams. Because I want to make sure that they actually get the red shirt at the end of the year. Shaw has an unlimited arm, but the accuracies are capped pretty badly. I still think this is a good starting quarterback in the future. Sidney Flanagan, 6'2", 212 out of Lakewood, California. He's a 3-star recruit, dual threat quarterback, uncapped accuracy, which you really need that because his accuracies are awful at this point. But only 87 throw power and it's max capped already. We are never going to see an arm better than 87 throw power on Sidney Flanagan. I'm not sure if this kid is going to stay in the roster. Dual threat quarterback with 73 speed, you're kidding, right? That was just a dart throw that did not work out at all. Starting running back, Emmett Johnson. He's going to play every snap if I know any way to do that. 5'11", 202 out of Minneapolis, Minnesota. Johnson has good speed, good acceleration, elite elusiveness on top of his game there. Great hands. The power is just not there at all, but great route runner. He's gonna play all downs, and he has 3 golden abilities. Quentin Ives, still the backup. He's a junior. He's gonna be the starter next year. But this year is gonna be Johnson. Ives is still gonna see the field. He's the power back, and he will be the RB2. He's got solid athleticism. He's got solid elusiveness. He's got solid hands. He's actually a pretty good power back, contrary to Emmett Johnson. And he can run some routes as well. Like, this is a pretty good running back to have in case Emmett Johnson gets hurt. Ezekiel Abanikonda. Yeah, he's redshirted. And that's because he's the number 4 running back at the moment. He's never going to see the field unless we have like 3 injuries. And if that happens, I'm going to burn the red shirt. Sure, whatever. But right now, I don't want to risk it. The quickness is not great. The elusiveness is, with the caps, not great. The hands are pretty decent. The power is uncapped. And he's already a pretty good power back. So I'm pretty excited about his future as a power back. But nothing else. The caps overall look decent, but not great. Nate's good. 6'1", 190 out of Colonial Heights, Virginia. He is built like a receiver. Good. Has no abilities. And only 81 speed. And his quickness caps are pretty bad. The elusiveness cap, great, but the hands are not great. Power is not great. The route running is not great. The quickness is not great. I'm not sure this kid is going to be on the roster next year. Ian McMahon, our new starting fullback, true freshman, 6 foot, 198 out of Newark, New Jersey, blocking archetype fullback. McMahon has 79 lead block. That's actually pretty good. And I don't really care about anything else. The speed is not great. And the blocking ratings overall, I think, are decent. There's not much here. But she's still better than Liebentritt. Okay, whatever. Best player on the team, Ja'Cory Barney. Expecting 1,500 yards this year. 6 foot, 173 out of Florida City, Florida. Barney has upgraded his speed, 93 speed, 94 excel. He did not upgrade his hands much, but he's got 96 short route running, great medium route running. He maxed out his route runnings, great elusiveness. This kid is going to be unbelievable, and he's going to be the starting slot receiver. Nasiah Hunter, 6'2", 212 out of Salinas, California, number 2 receiver, former 3-star speedster archetype. He's going to play on the outside. And Hunter has good speed, good acceleration, great hands, great route runnings, great elusiveness. This kid basically has no weakness. And he's going to be the best outside receiver. He's not going to be on the number 1 receiver on all plays, but he is the X receiver on every play that Barney has a slot role for him. Jenron Bonner. You're going to wonder why this is going to be starting receiver, but you'll see. 6'2", 222 out of Ellenwood, Georgia. Our number 3, 4, and 5 receivers are all kind of weak. And this kid is pretty slow. 85 speed, 90 acceleration. I gotta give it to him, though. His hands are very reliable, and he's got great route running. Great release, especially. He's got a platinum cutter, silver sure hands, silver downhill, and then a bronze press pro and bronze 50-50. I think Bonner is pretty decent number 3 receiver. Now, Rashad Smith, he is kind of on the same level as all those other 3 and 4 and 5 receivers, but he does not, he is just not good enough yet to be a starting receiver. Look at those caps, man. It's unbelievable. This kid is God. He's going to be unbelievable. He's going to definitely be a starter next year. There is no doubt in my mind. Because we're going to lose Barney next year. And this kid is on the field next year. No doubt. Dwayne Hay, different story. 6'2", 209. He's a Nebraska kid. And his caps are not looking great. And his speed is not looking great either. And by the way, Rashad Smith, he still needs to work on a bunch of stuff. But Dwayne Hay needs to work on a lot more stuff, I think. The caps need some work. But the elusiveness is uncapped. I think he's got a pretty good starting point at route runnings and the hands as well, but not starting caliber. None of our true freshman receivers are. Dylan Souls, he's going to get cut next year. Already 85 speed and the quickness is max capped. Don't even need to talk about anything else. This kid's gone next year. Unless he becomes like an 85 overall in one off season, like some unforeseen miracle on his offseason trainings next year. If he doesn't have any miracle on the offseason training, he's gone next year. On the other hand, Marcus Sahara, look at these caps. Already a pretty good athlete, and he still has a little bit of room to grow there. The hands need some work, I admit, but it's basically uncapped. Same thing for the route runnings and elusiveness. This kid, the sky is the limit, man. I don't think he's going to start next year, though. He's got a long way to go. Juan Savage. Impact Dev, 6'1", 189 out of Jersey City. Savage, he needs to work on his athleticism. And I personally don't think he's ever going to be good enough on the athleticism front to be a starter. But I'm also starting Jenron Bonner right now, so who knows? We'll see. But Dylan Souls, that's the one that I'm pretty sure already I'm going to cut him next year. Mac Markway, still our starting tight end. 6'4", 261 out of St. Louis, Missouri. Markway has good route runnings. He's got great hands. He did not have a great offseason, but he can do everything he was able to do last year, just a little bit better this year. Just a tiny scooch better. And he's also a tiny scooch better as an athlete over the number 2, who technically is better overall. Dominique Falk, 6'6", 222 out of Columbus, Ohio. Man, not sure if this kid is ever going to be good enough. But the hands are uncapped at least. Route runnings could be pretty decent. Just the athleticism, I don't think it's good enough. 81 speed, 70 acceleration, not sure. Paul Beckner, even worse overall, 6'2", 203, too light, honestly. You need to grow a lot, man. The route runnings are decent. The hands are already almost capped. Not looking good. The only thing that's good about Beckner is his quickness is uncapped. And so if he could get his speed up to like the high 70s, low 80s, I think this kid might have a chance, but his development rate is just not good enough probably. Look at our new starting left tackle, Trey Zune, 6'7", 323 out of Colorado. Maxed on the pass block, but he's a senior anyway, so the caps don't matter now anymore. But elite pass protection, very good run blocker, 92 strength. Don't even need to know anything else. 2 golden abilities and a silver one on top. Zune is going to be a monster. Like, there is no doubt in my mind that he is gonna nail people. Just gonna roll over people on the offensive line there, on the defensive line. Gunnar Gotchula. He is going to be the starter at left guard this year. He's still listed at tackle. He's going to take over there next year, but his pass protection is decent. His run blocking is even better, which makes him an even better guard. 88 strength is not elite, but it's good enough. And he does have some pretty good athleticism. He can run. I think he is a pretty good guard, actually. David Byron. Not going to play this year, obviously. He's like the number 3 starter. I put the red shirt on him. I don't want him to start on special teams or stuff and burn the red shirt. So he is not going to see the field this year because she's not good enough. The power needs some work. I think the caps are decent. I'd say for him, he might be like a good starter in like 3 years. Dante Owens. He is going to be a backup at guard. He's not redshirted. He is actually one of the better players there. And I hope he gets his redshirt, but he's actually a direct backup. So if there is an injury, he is going to be on the field now. That's why I didn't put a redshirt on him. The caps are not great on him, but he does have some traits that might make him a decent starter in the future. Our starter at center is Justin Evans, 6'1", 318. I think he's going to make a good double team with either of the guards. He's not a great run blocker, but the pass protection is elite. I wanted to keep that up, definitely, because we had a great year last year, and I don't want to change any of that. The athleticism is a little bit underwhelming, but overall, this is a very good center prospect. Now, Josh Tobias, 6'3", 279 pounds. He's a true freshman. I put the red shirt on him. He is, I don't think he's a direct backup. But he has some pretty good room to grow. Now, he only has normal dev or something, so that's not great. But I think he is going to be a good starter next year or the year after. Our starter at right guard, Tyler, I'm going to call him Tyler Knack. 6'6", 328 out of Cottonwood Heights, Utah. Knack has, pretty good run blocking, but pass protection needs some work. So we're going to have a massive downgrade there because Rocco Spindler was a much better player than him. We'll see how this turns out, but I'm not too happy about this situation. All right guard, true freshman right guard, Alfonso Meyer is not a direct backup, so I redshirted him, 6'5", 286 out of Shreveport, Louisiana. He needs some work, but the caps are decent, I guess. I think he's a solid, at least a good backup in the future. He might be a starter, maybe, but the caps are not great. So, but at least I think he was the one with the great dev, right? Elijah Pritchett, 5-star tackle, and he's a starter this year. Again, he's a senior, so this is his last year. We're going to lose both starting tackles this year. Or next offseason, I guess. The caps don't matter on him anymore, but he's a great run blocker. Not as great as a pass protector, but he was the starter last year, and he was pretty good. So he's going to be even better this year, and he's got some abilities as well, right? So I don't think this is a great issue here. Marcus Traylor, he's a backup, and not a direct one. I think he's a third string. Traylor is a 4-star. and his caps look fantastic. Great pass protection right away, but the run blocking is god-awful. Like, this is not looking good. So Traylor needs a lot of work, but I think if he has a good offseason next year, I think he might be a starter next year as a redshirt freshman. But right now, he's going to be a redshirted. Williams Nwaneri, 5-star red rusher, redshirt sophomore, 6'7", 257, out of Missouri. Nwaneri is almost maxed out on the caps, but he does have some room on the important ones: power and pass rushing. The run stopping is pretty good. Let's be honest about that. I think this is a good #1 edge rusher, no doubt about it. Now, I thought when I adjusted the roster that Sam Malecki was definitely going to start this year. He does not have a redshirt yet. He's 6'4", 225, and his caps are godlike. But he's just not a better pass rusher than the other ones. He does not have a better power and finesse combo. He's not a better athlete, and he's not a good run stopper. I don't think we're going to see much of him. He's a 5-star, but I don't think we're going to see much of him this year. Now, PJ Middleton has an actually higher depth trait, and I think PJ Middleton is going to be a pretty good solid starter in the future, but not as a power rusher, because he has not great power moves caps, but the finesse move caps are incredible. It's uncapped, and I think that Middleton in like 2 years might be a pretty good starter with that star dev. We're gonna see Keona Davis a lot this year. 6'5", 257 out of Arizona, 91 power moves, 82 finesse moves. This is a starting edge rusher. And this is what Sam Malecki is not. That's what I said earlier. Malecki is just way worse than edge rusher. And Keona Davis is not even our best edge rusher, you know? So don't really see a starting future for Sam Malecki this year. But Keona Davis, on the other hand, he looks pretty good as a pass rusher. Cameron Lenhart, I thought this guy would make a much bigger jump than he did. 81 overall as a senior, and he's probably not going to see the field much. 83 power moves, 81 finesse moves. That's not going to cut it. He did nothing in the offseason, and he doesn't even have any abilities. Probably a backup. I think Keona Davis is just a much better starter. So let's move on. We got an edge rusher here, Taj Leon. He's going to be redshirted. He's like a 3rd or 4th string right now, so there is no point in risking him getting on the field on special teams. He needs a lot of work, but luckily, at least his power rush caps are not looking too shabby, and he's got some room to grow on the power. The athleticism, probably not going to get much better. But he's got lots of room to grow on run stopping, finesse moves, and power moves. I think this is going to be a pretty good edge rusher at some point. Riley Van Poppel, the starting defensive tackle. He's our best kid there. 6'5", 292, 83 power moves. And sadly, he's even got more room to grow. 93 strength, that's good. Quickness, well, he's a defensive tackle. Block shedding, not great. But he's also a little bit lighter, so I wouldn't have expected him to be great at that. Dylan Parrott, 6'5", 318. He's a senior. Pretty disappointing. A 76 overall senior to be starting. But I guess we have to live with it this year. Until our 2 4-star defensive tackles get an offseason boost next year, we're going to have to live with this. And yeah, that's what it is. Gabe Moore, 6'4", 292. I converted him from edge rusher to a full-time defensive tackle. Not a great... the strength is just not good. He's not a great pass rusher, but he's a solid run stopper and better than the other defensive tackles that we have. So I think at defensive tackle, I think we are kind of in the same spot as we were last year. There's not much of a change, I think. Carl Michel, 4-star, true freshman. Not going to play this year. He is not a starter or a second string. 84 power or 84 strength, I mean, needs some work. The run stopping needs some work. 65 power moves, 63 finesse moves. This is not a starting or even backup caliber player at the moment. He needs a lot of work, and he will get it next offseason, but this year he's not going to see the field. And I could just repeat myself here. Devian Leonard, also redshirted. Also not a starter or a backup this year, second string backup. At least he's a bunch stronger. His run stopping is okay. His power rushing actually is decent enough. I think this power and finesse moves combination to me looks good enough to be a starter next year. I think if he gets 3 overall points and improves his pass rushing just a little bit, I think he's a starter next year. Not this year though. Dylan Rogers is going to be our linebacker at Sam. His caps are not great. He's not a great athlete. The pass coverage is not great. The run stopping is. Rogers is going to be playing a little bit. Trayvon Poole, 6'1", 215. I love this kid. He looks incredible. He was a 4-star, and he does not have a redshirt yet. He's a good athlete. His pass coverage is one of the best on the team. 80 zone is second best on the team at the linebacker position. The run stopping needs some work, but look at the caps, man. This kid, I'm not sure we get this kid for 4 years even. I think we're lucky if this kid stays 4 years at this college. I think there's a good chance that this kid declares after year 3. He's already a 79 overall, and he's going to be much better next year. I think this kid is going to be a starter next year, maybe even a 3-down linebacker. In the middle, we got Vincent Shavers, and he will be the starter. It took me a long time to decide that, but I think he's the more well-rounded prospect. Shavers had a great offseason. You've got to give it to him. And I think he's just a little bit better than Dexter Proctor is. Proctor is a true freshman, 5-star linebacker with elite dev. This kid is going to declare after 3 years. Look at the caps, man. He has no restrictions. Proctor looks unbelievable. And the fact that he has elite dev, he's going to be a starter next year, whether you want to or not. Even if I bring in 3 4-star linebackers in the transfer portal or whatever, this kid is going to start next year. There is no doubt in my mind. But right now, he is just a backup. He will see the field sometimes. And I'm not counting on him being here 5 years at all, so there is no need to put a red shirt on him at all. Dakota Wall, on the other hand, kind of a disappointment. The caps are not as great as I hoped. He is not great in zone or against the run. He's not a great blitzer, and he's not a great athlete either. I think the red shirt is well deserved for him. He's a 3rd string right now, so there's no need to risk his special teams. He will be a five-year player, I think, because he does not have an elite dev trait. Our number one linebacker, Christian Jones, he made a massive jump. His pass coverage is great. His run stopping is elite. Like, wow. And he's a sophomore. He cannot declare next year. Can you believe that? This kid is unbelievable, and he can't declare. And he's got abilities right away. Unbelievable. Christian Gray, best player on the defense. I knew why I wanted to get him, and I did get him. Gray looks unbelievable. Man and press, top. There is no, he has no weakness. Elite athlete. Great hands. Great zone and man. He even has some pretty good power. The only knock on him would be 61 tackling, but who even cares at that point? This kid is a lockdown. Put him on an island corner. Number 2, Hugh Bates. This, for me, by the way, was the winner in practice. He looked incredible. I have no idea how, but he kept Ja'Cory Barney in check. Unbelievably. I have no idea how he did it. He's a solid corner. There is, nothing spectacular about him. Not a great athlete. His zone is actually pretty bad, but for some reason, in practice drills, he dominated Ja'Cory Barney. And then we got Bly Hill. Hill is 6'4". He's pretty decent in man. His zone 75 is not great, obviously. And he has only 88 speed. So I'm doing something really weird. I'm putting a 6'4 corner in the slot this year. I don't really feel I have another choice. But this kid is our best tackler and our slowest corner. So there is just no way to put him on the outside. 88 speed is just not going to cut it. But on the other hand, he also has 73 tackling. So there's 2 reasons to put him in a slot. And I am not going to get deterred because of that 6'4 frame. I don't care. And then every other corner doesn't really matter. All our freshman corners are not good enough at all to be on the field. We have Jamario Coleman here, 86 speed and already max cap there. I don't think Coleman is going to be on the team next year. 86 speed and max cap there, that's already like a cut candidate to me. Dominique Eagles, star dev out of Blythewood, South Carolina. He is redshirted this year. I expect this kid actually to be a starter in a couple of years. Man coverage, not looking sharp, but the caps are pretty good. The zone is looking awful. He's never going to be great at that, let's be honest. But he's got good athleticism and he can get a little bit better. The hands are pretty good. I think this is going to be a pretty good corner out of the slot in a couple of years. With that cap profile. Good caps for tackling and man. Jacques Souls. Yeah. Not looking too hot. 89 speed, 89 XL. It might cut it. He's got good caps on zone and hands. I think he might be a pretty decent off-zone corner one day in like a couple of years. Right now, I don't see a bright future for him. Now, Paul Durant, 5'10", 195 out of New Iberia, Louisiana. This is a pretty interesting cap profile. I think he's a decent athlete. He can get a little bit better. There is a chance that this kid might be a starter as well. But it's going to be a while because he is not great right now. The star out of these 5 freshman corners that I got this year, to me, definitely is Manny Hester. By now, he's the lowest overall, but he has star dev. And oh my God, look at those caps, man. Jeez. Unreal. Yeah, he sucks right now. No doubt about it. But in like 2 years, I think this could be a starting corner. Maybe 3. I don't know exactly. But with a couple off seasons, he could be in that high 70s overall range, I think. At safety, we have another Buford. Marcus Buford Jr. He graduates. Welcome Mario Buford to take over for him. Our best safety this year, it's a massive downgrade, no doubt about it. But he's actually a better athlete, I think. And his man and zone are pretty decent. Run support, 66 tackling from a safety, that's not great, but we don't have any other options. He has to get it done. I think there is a good chance that this year we actually might allow a few more deep touchdowns. Because I have just no idea how we would defend anybody here. Yeah, we don't have the athletes in the secondary right now, except Christian Jones. Call him Christian Gray, I mean, obviously. But yeah. Marco Miles. This, not great caps. But I think at some point, this kid might actually be a pretty good single high safety, like cover one zone, or not cover one man with him being the deep zone corner. I think this is what he could do with that cap profile. Roger Gradney is the starter on the other side. 6 foot, 206 pounds. Gradney, he's a 76 overall. What good am I gonna tell you about this kid? Decent athlete. 74 tackling is okay, I guess. 87 hit power. He can stop the run. I think he's a good complementary safety. But that's about it. Tyrone Eaton. Elite dev safety. Watch out for this kid. Do you see that down there? Uncapped quickness, run support, and power, and hands. I think he is going to be a turnover machine in a couple of years. Right now, not a starting caliber safety. But this right here, with those caps, I think Eaton is going to be eating people alive. And then we got DeAndre Battle, Impact Dev, and 67 overall. And then you might think, oh my god. And now you might think, oh my god, what are those caps? He's Impact Dev, so don't expect too many big jumps. But I think there's a good chance that this kid might actually get drafted at some point. Because with those caps, if he stays on the team, I think his redshirt senior season, he might be in the high 80s. With those caps. He looks incredible. Seriously, unbelievable. I did not expect that at all. Oh, I thought when I saw his dev trade and his overall from the position changes screen, I thought, oh my god, yeah, I drafted a bust there, or I recruited a bust there. But no, those caps are unbelievable. DeAndre Battle is gonna stay on the team, whether you like it or not. I am having too much faith in him. Our kicker is going to be Tristan Alvano, 94 kick powers, 86 kick accuracy, nothing spectacular. And then Camden Cook, he's going to be our punter, 6'2", 207. Cook has 83 kick power and 74 kick accuracy. I don't care. Golden, deep range, mega leg, and coffin corner. I think he's a decent punter, but nothing spectacular, and I definitely am not hoping on winning any awards with him this year. So, preseason All-Americans. Let's have a look. First team All-Americans. Yeah, 99 overall J.R. Biosmith. That sounds about right. And they also got Ryan Wingall there. Then the Texas quarterback Fifita. And yeah, you know, just a bunch of other Texas players. And Ohio State and Bama. And Georgia is on here as well. And obviously, we can't forget about Oklahoma. Now, didn't expect anybody from us to make this list. Maybe Ja'Cory Barney, but if you look at the receivers on this list, you can see why Ja'Cory Barney is not on this list. He's just not even close to good enough, and he looks unbelievable. But let's be honest about it, his hands need some work. So, preseason All-Americans, second team on the national level. We got Oklahoma quarterback. First team Texas, second team All-American. Second team All-American is a quarterback from Oklahoma. Nice. Got a couple of running backs from USC and Georgia. Another Texas receiver. We got TJ Moore from Clemson. He was annoying in my North Carolina dynasty for a long time. Obviously, a couple of Notre Dame offensive linemen. Even more Texas and Oklahoma players on the edge, and then the defense there. Ohio State, Oregon, Michigan, and Christian Gray. Love it. Yeah, he's gonna be unbelievable. He's gonna be locked down. I'm so excited. This kid's gonna be pretty good, and I'm pretty happy that we got him, because I think if without him, this outlook for this year would be looking a lot different. If we didn't get Christian Gray, our number one corner, I don't even know who it would be, because those other, like, I mean, it might be Bates, but I'm so much more happy that Bates is the number two rather than the number one. Now, if we look at the MAC, we got Dylan Raiola, Emmett Johnson, Ja'Cory Barney, Naziah Hunter, Mac Markway. 5 of the 6 players, skill position players on offense. And then we got on the offensive line, we got Trey Zune, Justin Evans, and Elijah Pritchett. Obviously, the guards are not there, but no surprise there. We got Williams and Nwaneri. We got a defensive tackle in Riley Van Poppel. 2 linebackers in Dylan Rogers and Christian Jones, who are going to be actually the starters. And by the way, Christian Jones, if I haven't said it already, he's a sophomore. He can't declare. So he's going to be here one more year, and he's going to be even more unbelievable next year. And then we got a quarterback from Iowa State. We got Quentin Ives even. What are you talking about? And then 3 Arkansas receivers. What on earth did I do to deserve this? I'm so scared of Arkansas. Really, they have a pretty unbelievable receiving unit, but so do we. Luke Lindenmeyer, yeah, that's not happening, man. It's gonna be Mac Markway. Connor Gotchula, yeah, you're not gonna start there. And then Jason Messiejek, yeah, you're not gonna start at all. Tyler Knack on the other side. Yeah, this to me looks like we are the heavy favorites to win the MAC this year. We have just so many much better players. Just the sheer masses of players on the first team prevents us from actually having players on the second team All-Americans here. It looks like incredible. I'm not kidding. This is, yeah, we're by so far the heavy favorites. Now, schedule, week 1 at Colorado. And that, by the way, is a rivalry game. And I want to face our out-of-conference rivalries every year. Every year I'm going to get one of them. The other 2, by the way, are Texas and Oklahoma. I did do a random generator. Then Wisconsin, Minnesota, Northern Illinois, all out of in conference. Then Duke out of conference. We got Missouri, Arkansas, Arkansas State, Missouri State, Kansas State, and Kansas. And then to finish it out, it's New Mexico. That's actually a randomly generated game in week 12. That's probably going to be more like a bowl game. And we're going to play at home. That's senior week. I think we're just going to obliterate them and then in the second half put in a bunch of seniors that didn't get to start. Something like that. And yeah, that's our schedule for this year. I am so excited about this team. Dylan Raiola, Ja'Cory Barney, Emmett Johnson in the backfield. He is so elusive. We got a solid offensive line. I think it's a little bit weaker than last year, but this is still a pretty good offensive line. I don't think we can do another 0 sack season, but the defensive line I think got stronger, especially on the edge. The linebacker unit was replaced. I have no idea how that even happened. We lost our 3 starting linebackers, 3 of the better players on the team entirely, and we just got 3 new 80 plus overalls. It's unbelievable. And then we got Christian Gray, our number 1 corner. He's going to be like incredible. I would have loved to get Tayon Holloway because that kid, by the way, was a sophomore. If we had gotten him, we would have gotten 2 years out of him. He would be a junior now. I mean, unless he might have declared, but we had no shot at getting that kid at all. Jeez. And then at safety, I think the massive downgrade we have this year is at safety and at guard, which are 2 of the least valued positions on the team. So I think I can live with that, especially considering that our quarterback is now better. I think our receiving unit is better than last year. I think, but we didn't lose a running back, so obviously that's better than last year. And we didn't, we even upgraded at corner, I think. I think it's an upgrade, man. Bates looked incredible in training, and we have Christian Gray as the number 1 corner. I couldn't even target him at all because he was so locked down and nobody was ever open. So yeah, it's going to be incredible. And we're ranked number 10 in the preseason, so everybody expects us to make the college football playoff and hopefully win the conference. And that's going to do it for this episode. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe for more Nebraska Dynasty. See ya in the next episode. Until then, have a great day.